It's never easy to share what we've gone through, but I know that in me sharing, it's going to help somebody else out there. So I remember it like it was yesterday. We had already started to grow really distant in our marriage. And my husband just decided he wanted to sleep downstairs, and I just slept upstairs. It just happened out of nowhere. Like, I didn't understand it. I couldn't make sense of it. It's like he just ghosted me in the marriage. And I literally could feel like this disconnect between us. It's like he just made up in his mind one day, I'm done with you. And he went downstairs, right? And so what ended up happening is I remember just, talking to God, spending time with him. And I wasn't really understanding why he just did that to me or ghosted me. We would argue, we would, have our back and forths, and, he would do things, and, I would say things. And so it was just dysfunction, so you fill in the blank. It was a dysfunctional marriage. Jesus definitely wasn't at the center. God definitely wasn't someone that my husband was following. And when I met him, he was already veering off. It was just kind of like I said in the beginning, that in between. It was like double mindedness, straddling the fence. But for me, I always wanted that connection. I always wanted that strong relationship with God. I just didn't know what all came with following him. And so back to the story. He now is downstairs, I'm upstairs, right? So during this time, I'm just with Jesus, and he's having me to start writing books and, just really showing me my gifts and talents that he's given me. I'm making music, and all the while my husband's just doing his own thing. He's acting like he's not married. I'm not sure what he's doing. I'm just so focused with Jesus. And that's when he started like leading me to do content, and the YouTube channel and different things of that nature. So while he's out living however he's living for the world, however separate from God, I'm in the room, just, you know, locked in. Okay. I was scrolling through YouTube one day, and then I saw a message. It just like stuck out to me. And the message said, on the side, you know how there's advertisements on the side of the YouTube when you're scrolling through? And I saw an advertisement that said, go get tested, go get tested. And it was like clear as day. And I'm like, why is this sticking out to me? Go get tested? And so I ended up reaching out to a prophetess, and she is someone that is truly of God. And I remember when I reached out to her, and I'm like, I don't know why I have this strong feeling. I feel like I need to go get tested. And she said, I hear clap, clap. And I'm like, clap? What is that? And so she did her research and come to find out gonorrhea is also known as the clap. And so instantly I'm freaking out. And I'm like, what you mean the clap? I haven't been with anyone but my husband, and, I'm only intimate with him. And so I kept it in my back pocket, and I went ahead and I scheduled to get tested. So I'm completely freaking out. I'm waiting on these results to come in. I'm crying out to God. I'm like, Jesus, please, I don't want to have an STD. And so I remember just crying that day, just crying. And remember, I'm upstairs, he's downstairs. He doesn't know that I know what was revealed to me, because we're not really talking or anything. And of course, he wouldn't admit it, even if I were to tell him. And I'll get to that in a moment. And so I'm waiting for the results, and I'm in the bed, and I'm just crying. And I'm like, Jesus, please, I don't want to have this STD. All of a sudden, and I'm just telling him to heal me. Please heal me. Please heal me. And I'm crying. And all of a sudden, I feel this heat in my lower part. And I'm just feeling this heat. And it's just like this intense fire. And all of a sudden, it's just gone. And I felt in that moment that Jesus had removed that from me. And I was just like, it was so many emotions going on in my head, because I'm like, you cheated on me. You've been with someone else. How could you? How long has this been going on? You literally infected me. Right. And so everything's just going on in my head, but yet I'm still remaining at peace. Right. And I remember I had went to sleep, and I heard gonorrhea and chlamydia, gonorrhea and chlamydia. So it wasn't just gonorrhea, it was also chlamydia as well. And I remember my husband wanted to be intimate with me. It was really weird. Like he'd have his moments where he would want to come up and be intimate. But this time I said no. And he wanted to know why. And I said, I heard gonorrhea and chlamydia. Gonorrhea and chlamydia. And he said, well, I don't know how that would be possible. And, I haven't done anything. And, he's just laughing and joking it off. But by that point, I was already done. I was already done. My husband was dealing with a lot of issues from his childhood, a lot of secrets, a lot of insecurities. And I'm not saying I was perfect. I was not. Okay. God had to deal with me a lot about my heart, about my disobedience, my haughtiness, my pride. And I'm not telling this to bash my husband or anything, but I'm saying if God is calling you to separate, it's for a reason. It's to protect you. Now imagine if I didn't go get tested. Imagine if I was still intimate with him and he's out there doing God only knows what. There's no telling what else I would have had. So this is not a game. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section. What Jesus did for me, he can do for you. But you have to be obedient and you have to listen when he tells you to walk away, close the door, separate. Because a lot of what God is doing now is separating the wheat from the tares. And that's my story. See you on the next video.